Are you able to hear me fine? Are you able to hear my audio okay? Okay, I haven't. It is a live session. We do have. I need to understand if you're able to hear me okay or not, so that it makes it easier for me to speak. So if any of you can quickly type in saying yes, I'm able to hear you, it helps. Hey guys, a quick audio check. Can you guys just quickly let me know if I'm audible or not, so that we get started? Checking again. We just type in a yes or a no. That will help. Maybe we can get quickly started. Oh, awesome! Thank you so much. Yeah, that helps. Thank you so much. Let me quickly start speaking about myself, and then maybe we can get dive straight into the into the content as well. So my name is Srinath. I've been a data scientist for close to around almost 9 years now, and I started off my career, of course, as a data scientist. My first job actually was into teaching. I spent almost like a year and a half of my career into teaching. And I was teaching math as my first job. And then I did my master's in artificial intelligence, transitioned from that particular field into AI, became a data scientist early this decade, and then worked at a couple of startups. Moved out, worked for Verizon, worked there for a few years, worked at Microsoft for close to 4 years. Now I'm with Anheuser-Busch InBev, which is world's largest brewing company. Yeah, so I was, yeah, okay. So I guess again, a quick check again if the audio is, if you're able to hear me fine or not. Right. Is the audio better now? Quick check. you just try to speak something? Yeah, I've been trying to speak now. Just quickly let me know if you're able to hear me fine now. Okay. Uh, at least I can see that the audio is. Yeah, I've been trying to speak. I'm just trying to check again if the audio is fine. Uh, Folks, if anyone can just quickly let me know if you're able to hear me fine, then just that'll be great. Yes, sir, you are very much audible. Right, cool. So with that said, as I said, I spent the first few years of my career into teaching, worked at a couple of startups, did my master's in artificial intelligence, transitioned into the field of data science after that, and worked at a few startups, worked at Verizon for a few years, Microsoft for a few years. Now I'm working at Anheuser-Busch InBev, which is the world's largest brewing company. I had the fintech uh, data science wing of ABI, wherein we focused on building fintech products for our customers, and essentially my team embeds artificial intelligence into their products. So that's long story short, that is essentially what I do. I've been associated with Intellipaat for close to almost 3 years now, or 2 years now, wherein we've been doing numerous such teaching sessions, and yeah, it's a pleasure to have you all here. Over the course of the next 20 minutes, I'm going to quickly talk about, firstly, in my perspective, what is data science. Over the course of the last 8-9 years that I've spent in the industry, I'm going to share my perspective about what data science is and how data science has evolved over the years, and some fundamentals about what data science really is and what it would really require for one to become a data scientist in the current day. The requirements of a data scientist have evolved over a period of time. Right now, what we see is the skill set or the mix of skill sets that we or mix of skills that would ideally require for a data scientist are very, very different from what they were probably required maybe 8 years ago. Which basically means that the field is evolving, the requirements or the needs of the industry have also been evolving over the last. With that in mind, let me quickly talk a little about what is data science. Data science is the process of finding hidden patterns from raw or unstructured data. Now, when we say this, what we exactly mean? There are a couple of aspects that we need to understand from this particular statement. And if we were to demystify what the statement really means, there are some key terms that we need to double click into. First things first, the term data. Right. So, what do we exactly mean by right? What do we exactly mean by data? Data is, as I said, um, almost like a natural resource today. Just like how you don't need fuel or petrol or let's say diesel or gasoline to run your vehicles. These days, you need data to run your businesses, and and that is the beauty about having data. So, what is data? So, every time you do a transaction, let's take for example a simple banking industry. So, you walk into the store, you purchase a product, and then you swipe your credit card, or let's say swipe a debit card. Now, the bank in the background, of course, tries to capture this transaction. Uh, Now, that capturing that transaction essentially happens via some systems in the background, and the systems, the way they store this information is via a particular form called as data. So, what is data? Data is basically some information that has been stored in a certain format for it to be recovered, reused, or in some form even um, or even processed to generate some form of insight. So data is basically
piece of information that is being stored in the background. So the bank, when you do a credit card transaction, is storing this information in a certain format. Now, if the format in which the data is stored is if it is in a nice structured format, meaning you have a table, you have a few columns, name, address, um, right? You're storing name, address, and let's say you're storing some additional columns. So if the data is in a nice tabular structured manner, we call that as structured data. But if at times, not all forms of data are structured data, at times the data might also be in unstructured format. Like for example, if I simply give you, let's say, 1,000 photographs, now it's a dump of 1,000 photographs. You really cannot do anything with that data, and there's no real structure in how photographs are sort of generated or photographs are sort of stored. So take, for example, the photographs that are there in Pinterest or Instagram, right? All of that falls under unstructured data category. Data scientist, our responsibility is to basically work with structured or unstructured data and find and leverage some techniques to generate some hidden patterns from this particular data. Now, why is it important for us to generate hidden patterns from this particular data? So again, long gone are those days where we have to run behind banks to get loans, right? So if you go to the year, early 2000s, our parents, or let's say even a lot of us, even let's say 1990s, if they really needed a loan, then they would have had to basically chase the bank. They would have had to go to the bank, stand in queue, submit like a million forms to generate, or to even though we've been banking with this particular bank for like a few years, they still always wanted us to submit like a million documents before they could disburse a very very small amount of loan. Cut to 2021, that's not the case, right? So what's happening now is banks are chasing us, asking us to take loans. Now, what has really changed? So over the last 20 years, what has really happened is banks have realized that there is so many different transactions that are happening between the customer and the bank. The bank sort of knows, if there is one person or one entity that knows more about your financial status than you do, then it is the banks, right? So the banks very clearly understand the financial state that you are in. They have information about your banking history. They have information about your financial history. They have information about where you come from because you submit like a lot of details. And they also have information about where you stay, what you do, and so on and so forth. So banks now are smart enough to basically build their own ways or their own formulas and calculations to identify how eligible are you for a loan. And what banks are now doing is they are now pre-computing how eligible you are for a loan, and then reaching out to you to identify if you're interested to take a particular loan or not. So one bank has started doing it. The moment a few banks have started doing it, the other banks realize that they're going to miss out on this rat race. And eventually, what happened is all banks, all the complete banking industry, is transformed into a uh, completely new ways of working. The same holds good for even supermarkets as well, right? So supermarkets people have started realizing how differently people purchase, and they've started identifying that, okay, looks like we've had a history of transactions from our customers for over the last few years. If we actually look into this, we can probably identify what products are most frequently purchased, what products are not frequently purchased, which products often get sold, which products don't get sold, which products get sold on what days, and so on and so forth. So identifying, having that information, of course, helps the business because it'll help the businesses do better. It'll help them in their decision making. And hence, uh, over the last 15, 20 years, this requirement of not only storing data, but also using the stored data to generate insights has become very, very important in the market. And which is why the term data science has actually come into the picture, because at the end of the day, you're working with data. And what we're doing is we're leveraging some scientific techniques to generate these hidden patterns from your structured and unstructured data that we store at the background. Now, a quick question to you, right? What kind of patterns can we generate with unstructured data? There's a lot of interesting information or patterns that you can generate from unstructured data as well, right? What you could do is with the unstructured data that we have, we can, of course, when we say unstructured data, we are talking about images, video, audio, and so on and so forth. So take, for example, an app like Spotify, or let's say an app like Ghana.com, or any of these apps. So all they have is a bunch of audio. Now, what they've started doing is they've started to build some interesting playlists for you. So if you're somebody who's interested in certain kind of music, then you don't have to search for songs. What these companies have started doing is they've started to automatically curate these playlists for you and provide them to you for your consumption, and which is a very, very useful which is a very, very useful feature to have, right? And which is why when we talk about data science and data scientists, the span of a data scientist is very vast, because you not only work on structured data, you work on unstructured data. When we talk about unstructured data, we're talking about audio, video, images, text, so on and so forth. All right. So let's talk quickly about what are the different variety of skills that a data scientist would require to become a data scientist. There are three broad skills, if we were to say, that a data scientist will have, that a data scientist needs to possess. First things first, of course, they would require to have knowledge on statistics. Now, why statistics? Because, as I said, we are working with data. We're working with generating insights out of data. At the end of the day, what you're doing is you're taking a bunch of numbers and then trying to analyze those numbers. And when you say analyzing numbers, one mathematical tool that we all have access to, is statistics. Hence, having knowledge about statistics is paramount importance for a particular data scientist. You should be able to communicate well. You should be able to communicate efficiently when you talk about analyzing numbers, and that's where statistics helps us in understanding this very well. Then comes another field called as machine learning, right? So what you see here, right, we call this as machine learning. Now, what is machine learning? Machine learning is a particular field from computer science, which helps us automatically generate patterns from data. So there are multiple ways of doing it, right? If I give you a large volume of data, you can take that data set, sit down and try and analyze that data set for like a year and put it in Excel and then manually try to generate insights. Well, you can do that. But then we have computers with us. So one fine gentleman once thought about, why don't we actually build an algorithm that can automatically generate these insights for us? So, and that's where the whole field of machine learning started. And now today, as we speak, we have a suite of algorithms that have the ability to extract some interesting information from data. And these algorithms are basically referred to as machine learning algorithms. And hence, one would have to need some understanding about not only statistics, but also the individual will also have to require understanding about some algorithms and computer science as well. Last but not the least, at the end of the day, we're working with data, right? We're working with large volumes of information, large volumes of historical data. So you should be able to have some knowledge about how to deal with data, right? So you should be able to have some ability to work with these large volumes of data. So you'll have to pick up some kind of tools that will help you work on top of this. Some tools that will help us slice and dice data and work on top of these large volumes of data, right? So that is broadly the set of skills that you would require. Now let's double click into this. Let's double click into each of these circles that you see, right? Now, when you talk about the first box, right, statistics up there. So what does statistics really entail, right? There are two aspects that we will have to try to understand. One is one that is very, very important is, of course, you will learn about concepts such as mean, median, mode, which are called as central tendencies. You'll have to learn about how to evaluate dispersion of data, how spread of data works, and more importantly, you will also learn about certain concepts from statistics that will help you evaluate if uh, evaluate hypotheses, right? We call that as hypothesis testing. It's actually a very, very popular concept that a lot of statisticians use today. Now, that is as far as statistics is concerned. Um, so, what are the different concepts that you will learn? You will learn statistics. You will have to learn some fundamentals of math. You will learn about some concepts around. You will have to learn about some concepts around uh, some concepts uh, around probability and so on and so forth. Right? That's one. The second is around machine learning. Now, when we talk about machine learning, we are talking about, as I said, the computer science side of it. So the first box that you see up there is what is referred to as statistics or math side of things. The other is basically your uh, machine learning. Uh, and machine learning in this particular case, what I mean is the computer science side of things. And when we talk about computer science, we're essentially talking about one as individuals, as data scientists, picking up certain programming languages and certain pre-built algorithms or pre-built libraries that gain us access to these algorithms, these machine learning algorithms that can automatically help extract information from data. Right. So those are as far as statistics and machine learning is concerned. So you will have to, and as far as the statistics part is concerned, uh, as far as the statistics part or as far as the machine learning part is concerned, as individuals, we'll have to pick up some programming languages such as Python, R, and so on and so forth. Now, there are multiple programming languages that data scientists today work on, but one of the most popular programming language that everybody work on today, or 90% of data scientists today work on, is Python. Hence, my suggestion to you all is whoever is taking up this field or stepping into the field of data science is to pick up Python as a programming language because it's got a lot of goodness in it. B, it has extreme community support, and C, it's open source. So open source basically meaning that it is available for free. Anybody can contribute into it. Anybody can work on it, which basically means that there's a huge community support in how people can work with Python programs. All right. Last but not the least, here is where the data analysis side of things. That is where folks will have to start learning about tools such as SQL, and also also working in tandem with other visualization tools wherever needed, like Tableau and so on and so forth. So the Tableau, ClickView, and there are other visualization tools that one can learn as well. But SQL is super, super important as far as data science is concerned and as far as data analysis is concerned. Now, going one step deeper, right, under Python, you will also come across, more, when you look at the curriculum at times, you will also want, there are, it is very easy for people to get confused whenever we talk about data science because they're like people sell data science as a course with like a lot of different uh, concepts under it, and there's nothing wrong with it. That is the honest reality. So there are numerous concepts that are under the purview of as far as data science is concerned. It's a very, very vast area. But to start off as a beginner, if you're entering into data science for the first time, the most fundamental tools that you have to pick up is Python, SQL, and SQL as tools, and you'll have to learn statistics and machine learning as concepts that and these concepts will help you apply some of these algorithms, or will guide you towards applying these algorithms using these programming languages. So those are as far as the primary skills for a data scientist are required. Now, I do get at times certain questions like, "Hey Srinath, I'm not from a math background. Can I take up?" The answer is, if you're not from a math background, you can definitely take up data science. There's no question about it. But if you fear math, that is where the problem is. If you're somebody who does not like mathematics, uh, then that's where the challenge is, because there is a certain element of math that is associated with data science. I will lie if I say that math has nothing to do with data science. That is not true. There is definitely an element of mathematics. You will be working with numbers. Hence, if you're somebody who is not very interested in the field of math in the first place, again, when I say mathematics, you are not expected to learn integral calculus, differential calculus. No, I'm talking about 8th grade to 10th grade mathematics. If you are okay to work with 8th to 10th grade mathematics, then you can definitely explore this field. But if you believe that 8th to 10th grade math is something that you are not interested in, you don't want to go back to that side, that level of math, then I'm afraid this field probably will be a little challenging for you to survive in. Hence, I think that can be a very very good decision making point for most of. Now, remember, when I say math, I'm not asking you all to have knowledge about very complex, that integral calculus, differential calculus. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about, as I said, 8th to 9th grade mathematics. That's all that you need to have as some fundamentals before you even become a data scientist. So that's the level of math that is generally expected in the industry, at least. Um, I have a question here, and I'll probably take that question. I've completed engineering mechanical. I want to be a data analyst. Should I try for data analyst job or any IT job as my first job? See, again, Anmol, that question is a little open-ended, because you can do both, and there's nothing wrong with doing either this or that, right? It is about how ready you are as an individual to take up a data science role, right? In the market today, there are definitely a few companies that are taking data scientists as interns, and eventually, and these are basically college hires who basically get hired as interns and then eventually become data scientists. Uh, you can definitely explore that route. There's nothing wrong with it. But again, as I said, it is not. It's not a question about should I go in this direction or that direction. There are a lot of my friends who are mechanical engineers who have taken up another IT job, or who've taken up, let's say, mechanical engineering jobs, and then eventually transition into the field of data science as well. So your the question is only about how ready you are. If you already are somebody who's learned about data science, then I'm sure you should be able to apply for some jobs, or even for some internships. You should be able to apply for them already. So yeah, but if you haven't done that in the past, and if you're taking this course up for the first time, then you will have to spend some time. So what you can do is you can essentially take up another job and spend some time in. You can basically take up another job, whichever field, and basically at the background spend some time in learning and picking up data science, and eventually transition into that particular side whenever the time's right. Okay. So again, it's dependent on a lot of other external factors as well. Okay. I hope that answers your question. All right. Cool. I'm going to pause at that. Are there any specific questions that? Yeah. So there's another question as well that often keeps coming up, which is around. Just give me a second. I'm actually trying to. So the other question that keeps coming up is, "Hey Srinath, I'm not from a computer science background. Can I become a data scientist?" Well, you can definitely become a data scientist if you're not from a computer science background. Uh, I have somebody in my team who reports into me today who's a doctor, who was a doctor at a point, and the individual has now become a data scientist. So he was actually a practicing doctor, and now he has transitioned into the field of data science because he actually loves this field more. So the point is that the decision is never about should I become a data scientist, or should I become a can I become a data scientist or not, or I do not come from a computer science background, or I don't like math, can I become a data scientist? It's always about, do you have the right interest towards picking up, let's say, computer science? There is definitely an element of computer science. You will have to pick up some element of programming. But that said, you are not expected to become a master of programming. One, somebody in a very one fine gentleman very clearly put it. A data scientist is somebody who knows more statistics than a software engineer, and more software engineer than a statistician. Um, so that is what a data scientist is. As you can see, data scientist is a mix of a certain skill, a certain set of skills. So you don't have to be master in each of these. You have to learn just enough about each of these for you to start excelling in your job. And that is what today, as industry, that is what we look for. We look for a right mix of these skill sets. Okay. Right. So, okay, great question again, sir. Does a data scientist or data analyst work in a team or a specialist, or either statistics or more? So a data scientist is generally on a project. When you talk about a particular project, a data scientist is always, you would always have like one or two different data scientists on a particular project, right? Now, data scientists, of course, work with a team, but when you talk about the initial few days of solving a particular problem, data scientists always often work alone. So I would say that data scientists often work with very, very small teams. Right? You would often have a very small team. And when you talk about the data science work, the data science work is often done by like one or two people, while you have a larger team around you who will help you bring in data, who will help you in let's say, building applications and so on and so forth. There'll be software engineering teams and other teams around you, but often with the data science side of things, that is often going to be one individual who is one or two people at the max that would work together. And there are teams, of course, when you'd go, for example, when you take, for example, very, very large products, you would, of course, have data scientists, who you would, of course, have like 4 or 5 data scientists as well. Today, the way at least I run my team, a data scientist is always working individually on a product. There's very little overlap between data scientists. That's also because it helps them focus well. And sharing work as a data scientist is often very difficult because you have a certain line of thought and then you try to analyze data in that particular way. It may or may not always work together with another individual. So every data scientist is often working on like 1 or 2 projects by themselves. So that's how data scientists typically work these days. All right. So with that, I'm going to hand it back to the Intellipaat team, and I wish you all the best for your journey in data science. And if there is anything that you would like to learn about or talk to me about, feel free to reach out to the Intellipaat team. They'll get you in touch with me, or you can also reach out to me over LinkedIn. But it was an absolute pleasure working, or rather doing this session for you all today. Thank you so much.
For your valuable and insightful session. Okay, it was really highly insightful. I hope it would have been insightful for all participants. Very good evening, guys. I'm Satish. I'm the senior mentor with Intellipaat. I hold more than a decade and a year of experience into education consulting as well. So I've just invited myself to give you a formidable and comfortable solution what Intellipaat can able to offer to all the participants who are looking out for upskilling or who are looking out for a career transition to the technology of data science and AI. So if there is any questions, you can just post your questions over here. All right. So which I'm more glad to answer it also. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Any questions which I can able to see? Any questions, guys? Am I audible to everyone? Yeah. Am I audible, guys? Yeah, okay, guys. So in the middle of the call, if you feel that if I'm not audible or if my voice is breaking or fluctuating anything, please do let me know. All right. So guys, what I would recommend is to anyone who is looking out to expand their professional horizons to the technology of data science, Intellipaat can able to offer a most promising and comprehensive solution, which I can able to show you. Right. So once you go to our intellipaat.com website, you can just scroll down. Okay. You can able to see the first heading called popular courses. In this, you can see the first heading called advanced certification in data science and AI. So a program or a certification which is offered in collaboration with Center for Continuing Education of IIT Madras, which you can able to see that over here. All right. Okay. So this is the advanced certification in data science and AI, which you can able to see that. Okay, and you can also able to see apply now, download brochure, and most important key information is there is no any prior programming knowledge or prerequisites required to take up the certification, as this program is completely compatible for all the professionals who are looking forward to expand their horizons in data science and AI technology, and including the prerequisites in terms of preparatory classes of Python, Linux, and SQL will be offered from the expertise team, from the training team, or from the mentorship team to all the learners, to all the participants of this certification. So, and this is one of the prestigious certification offered in collaboration with one of the world-class university, that is Indian Institute of Technology of Madras campus. Precisely to name it, it's a Center for Continuing Education of IIT Madras, who is going to offer this program to you, right? And you can just scroll down, you can able to see program durations, career services, everything. So before that, I'd like to take you through the program curriculum precisely. So if you just go deep dive into the program curriculum, when you take a gist of it, so module one, as I said before, it's a preparatory classes for Python and Linux, which you're going to avail it. And second is going to be module two, which is Git, which is precisely a file transfer system. And third one is going to be with Python with data science, that is data analysis with Python, which you're going to learn. And fourth one is going to be advanced statistics, which is going to be taught to you from the basic till the advanced level, and machine learning and prediction algorithms as well. All right, where you're going to write the machine learning algorithms using Python, and you're going to design the predictive analytics or prediction algorithms, and you're also going to learn about data science at scale with PySpark as well. And you're also going to learn about AI deep learning using TensorFlow. Okay, and you'll also be learning about you're going to learn about deploying machine learning models on clouds, which is precisely known as MLOps. And you're also going to learn about data Tableau, which is going to visualize the data. And you're also going to work on the capstone industrial capstone project. So the precisely the overview is completely going to be where you're going to learn to process the data, huge amount of teradata using Spark, PySpark. And then you're going to analyze the data using Excel, SQL, and Python, precisely world widely used predominant tools. And then you're going to learn to write the machine learning algorithms using Python, and you'll be learning to deploy it over cloud through CI/CD pipelines. And then you are going to visualize the data, okay, using Tableau, and derive the business insights. And on top of it, you're also going to learn about AI and deep learning as well, in terms of cognitive data, how the analysis and how the approach should be, and how to derive the business insights. So if a data is in the form of text format, we go ahead with machine learning. But whereas if the data is in the form of a cognitive format like picture, videos, sounds, or sound clips, or audios, anything, you go with the deep learning using TensorFlow model, which is going to be illustrated in this certification. On deep diving into the mentors, yes, you can see well prestigious mentors of the IIT Madras campus who are going to train you on the things from the scratch. You can see Dr. Arun, professor of IIT Madras, Dr. Nirav, who is assistant professor of IIT Madras, Professor Babji, who is associate professor of IIT Madras, and Dr. Madhu Babu, and Mr. Vinayak Panchaman, okay, Professor Shankar Narasimhan, and Mr. Suresh Ramadurai, and Mr. Muthuswamy Manigandan, head of engineering in Amazon India. So these are some of the well expertise mentors who are going to handle the mentorship for you on the things from the scratch. And also we have a specific team of data scientists, okay, who are going to train you on the things from the scratch as well. Okay, and where these people are going to hold minimum 15 to 20 years of experience, hold more than a decade and a year of experience into consulting, okay, who are precisely data scientists and working professionals like you and me. And since they are going to handle you the things, so an ultimate bottom line objective is this program is well known for its academic rigorous technical curriculum along with the core practical implementation, molding you to be a data scientist, guys. All right. Okay, fine. And next, other most important key information is, if you could see, guys, if you want to learn data science, you can learn it for free in YouTube also. But if you don't know the right problem solving approach, your entire knowledge goes on vain. Okay, so that is what this program is concentrated on. See, you cannot use the same data science approach for a specific project, for a specific client, for a specific industry. So for example, the data or the level of data, the quantifying amount of data is different in each and every industry. So data in the manufacturing domain cannot be compared with the data in e-commerce. The data quantification, complexity, the analysis, the approach completely varies. So this program completely molds you with a diverse industrial exposure where you can be a creative problem solver on what you can get to the enterprise place or client's place over there, right? And on top of it, this program is well suitable for non-IT professionals also. There's no doubts on it. I'll tell you why. Okay, data science is just a blend of knowledge of business and knowledge of mathematics, precisely class 8 to class 10 mathematics concepts, precisely statistics. And third is a technical program, which is Python, which is one of the world's easiest programming language, which you're going to learn. All right, so these blended combo constitutes to the technology of data science and AI, which is going to be taught to you as well. Okay, so which is going to be there with you. Fine. And next, other important key most information what you're going to learn about this program, if you could see, is the key features, right? Let me take you through the key features. Yeah. Right. Key features. Yes. Here comes the key features. So it comprises of 400 hours of applied learning, which involves 150 plus hours of live instructor-led interactive online classroom training with 218 hours of high-quality self-paced videos, that is e-learning videos, PDFs, PPTs, and numerous hands-on exercises, assignments, and work exposure in 50 plus industry projects and business case studies as well. Okay, which is going to be there for you. And also you'll also be consolidatedly having 50 plus live sessions across 7 months. Okay, and you'll also be learning from IIT Madras faculties and industry practitioners. Okay, and one-on-one with the industry mentors apart from the session hours. So during the session hours, if you have any doubts, it's on-spot doubt clarification facilities available. And apart from the session hours, any doubts, nothing to worry. Okay, you can just reach out to our dedicated learning manager who will be assigned for you. Okay, and on top of it, adding a feather to the cap, this program involves a soft skills essential training in order to crack the job interviews with a core interview prep from the award-winning job assistance team of Intellipaat. And also you will also be having a live exposure of 2 days campus immersion visit at IIT Madras campus as well, right? And this program is completely designed for the working professionals as well as the freshers, and with flexible no cost EMI options are also available, which each and every learner can able to make use of it, right? And you can just scroll down. This is a certificate what each and every learner is entitled to get. Let me zoom it for you. All right, so this is a certificate from the Center for Continuing Education of Indian Institute of Technology Madras with a certificate number, which is a unique ID, which is also mentioned over there. Okay, and adding to it, you can see the list of professors name: Professor Devendra Jalihal, K. Mangla Sundar, okay, and our founder of Intellipaat. Okay, you can see a certificate unique ID, which is meant for each and every professional. This is an authentication that this program is offered by them directly. And as mentioned, you can see the live lecture from IIT Madras faculty and industry experts as well. And you'll also be getting that certification, completion certificate in data science and AI from IIT Madras team, Center for Continuing Education. And adding to it, you can see who can apply for the course. Yes, any individual with a bachelor's degree and a keen interest to learn AI and data science are most welcome to apply. And IT professionals looking for a transition to data scientists and AI engineers are most welcome to apply. And precisely anyone can able to learn data science and AI because data science is data science and AI is one of the evergreen domain where it has its prospective tentacles in IT as well as non-IT industry both. And these are some of the meaty roles what our learners are getting placed after completion of this program, like senior data scientist or applied scientist or AI expert or big data specialist, ML expert, senior business analyst. Once again, guys, these roles will be varying to IT as well as non-IT industry also, right? Okay, and skills to master, some of the essential skill sets what Srikanth have quoted. You can see all the skills that you'll be mastering in on taking up the program. And this program will be completely well versed to make your hands completely dirty enough in order to optimize with the corresponding tools to master. Okay, and which you will be mastering in. And you can also able to see about the projects, okay, which is precisely the beginner, intermediate and advanced level projects as well. Okay, fine. So you can see face detection, AI chatbot, restaurant revenue prediction, everything. And you can also able to see career transition. You can see successful career transition, Mr. Rajesh, who is a senior software engineer from associate consultant role, who has received 150% hike. You can see successful career transitions because the certification, which is globally recognized, which is going to speak a lot in your career. And Mr. Gaurav Sabu, who's a senior technical associate from a technical analyst who have got placed, and Melvin Rodrigues from a non-tech industry to a data scientist, from a customer service agent to a data scientist role. Guys, this is for people who are from non-IT industry who have a large or a huge inclination towards data science. This profile is for you, right? And you can also see Mr. Rajesh Sahu from a civil engineering graduate to a machine learning engineer, right? And you can see Mr. Ankit Kumar from a BCom graduate to a data scientist. Okay, Mr. Mahesh from a non-tech to tech, again a non-tech profile for your understanding. And you can also able to see peer learning. Okay, so peer learning is nothing but you can also see it's a fellow batchmates interaction as well. So even though we believe our professors or well-esteemed professors or industry experts can help you to reach your career goals, we also believe that fellow batchmates interaction would be enhancing your learning experience a lot. So it's completely a collaborative learning for you, where some of the important major announcements can be posted over the groups. Okay, and career services, hackathons, everything will be there as well on an additive note for you. Okay, and you can also see about career services by Intellipaat, where you can see some of the with the reference to career services, what we exceptionally we do is we offer a career mentorship sessions which will be sandwiched along with the live instructor-led classes, so that you get the optimum mentorship in terms of how to plan your career graph right from the day one of joining the class or joining the program. And we'll be helping you to build your profile, okay, which comes with resume building and the LinkedIn profile building as well. Okay, and adding to it resume building, LinkedIn profile building, and which you will be getting it availing after 70% of the courses, where we won't wait for you to complete the entire course. So post completion of 70% of the course, you'll be getting this resume and LinkedIn profile building assistance and career oriented sessions throughout the course, as I quoted before. And interview prep. Okay, what is interview prep? Yes, mock interview preparation once you complete 80% of the course, and one-on-one career mentoring sessions once you complete 90% of the course, and guaranteed 3 interviews from inbuilt from the award-winning team of Intellipaat. Okay, where you would be are entitled to get these 3 guaranteed interviews, not even 100% of the course completion. Only if you successfully complete 80% of the course with all the desired assignments, hands-on exercises, projects as prescribed by the academics team, you are entitled to get it. And you're also entitled to get an exclusive access to Intellipaat job portal access, okay, post 80% of the course completion as well. And you can also see some of the well-esteemed organizations where our alumni work at as well. So NASDAQ, Amazon, Microsoft, Genpact, Wipro, TCS, everything. And you can also see some of the video testimonials of the generous reviews of the learners who have completed the program and got a job, guys. Okay, so my sincere suggestion is anybody can able to take up this training program, and for sure this program is going to enhance your career. If you're looking out for a quick career transition in a short, sweet and crispy manner with a globally recognized international recognition, so IIT Madras data science and AI is one of the best option which you can make use of it, guys. Fine, guys, right? So now I'm more glad to answer your questions. Any questions, please do post it, please. Yeah, any questions, guys? uh Okay, yeah, I can see a question from Mohammed. Mohammed, 50 live sessions in 7 months. Okay, 50 live sessions, each and every live session accounts to close to 6 hours, 3 hours to 6 hours. Correct. Okay, so approximately 7 months with weekend batches, it's going to be 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., 6 hours per weekend. And the program duration is going to be for approximately 30 to 32 weekends, which is ideally close to 200 hours of practical learning for you, which is highly comprehensive. Yeah, and not whole course is live class. Yes, all the entire course is live class, and there are also few electives as well, like natural language processing, okay, data wrangling with SQL. These are electives also which has been added for you. And the entire program is live class, live instructor-led interactive online classroom training with on-spot doubt clarification facilities, Mohammed. I hope I have answered your question. Yes, Mohammed? Yes. All right, great. Okay, and next, any questions, guys? Any questions? Yeah, Mohammed, how much is a fee? Yeah, that is a point which I'm going to come to you. Guys, so if anyone has any queries or any clarifications or any concerns, can always reach out to me as well. Okay, so I'm Satish. I'm the senior mentor. I hold more than a decade and a year of experience. I'm specialized in counseling on advising the learners on the right career path or learning path as well. All right, so I'm more glad to guide each and everyone, whoever it is who's rightly interested or looking out for a right career transition or career path. So let me just let's discuss on the program fee. The program fee for the program fee, okay, accounts to, it's 85,044 plus taxes, which comes to INR 1 lakh 351. Yeah, let me repeat it, or let me minimize the font. It's 85K plus taxes, which comes to 1 lakh precisely. Okay. So, and exclusively for the webinar participants, I can also decrease the font size, I guess. Yeah, can still decrease it a lot so that everyone would be having the visibility on the screen. Yeah, I hope this font would be the right one where everyone can able to see it. Okay. And the scholarships exclusively only for the webinar participants. Only for the webinar participants is INR 10,000 each. And for the people, I have 5 coupons left, right? INR 10,000. Okay, worth 5 coupons left. I have 5 coupons worth 10,000 rupees each. So exclusively for 5 participants. Okay, and it's meant only for the learners. Okay, who are all enrolling before 12 tonight. Okay, and this offer is only for the exclusively only for the webinar participants, and we have flexible EMI options as well, which you can make use of it. All right, which I'm more glad to guide you also. And post this session, you can always reach out to me on my mobile number or my WhatsApp number, or you can always drop me an email also, which I'm more glad to guide you on it as well, guys. So I'm just posting my info for everyone's notice. All right, so that you can directly get in touch with me. Right. uh yes. All right, I hope everyone would have got my info, which you can check it, and you can make a note of my number, and you can directly reach out to me. And this is not a sales gimmick or anything. Okay, so this program is highly comprehensive, and today we since we have a lot of numbers to be collected in terms of sales figures or accounts or oil and gas or anywhere in our day-to-day life. Okay, obviously data scientist has always a brighter scope for all the learners in the world. Okay, so in that aspect, this is one of the best option what everyone has to consider it. Okay, which you can highly make use of it. Okay, so if you're interested, I can if you're interested to know more about the technology, or if you're looking out for a right transition, if you seek my advice, if you seek my counseling, okay, you're more glad to reach out to me over WhatsApp. You can just put a WhatsApp message for me. I'm more glad we can connect over a call and discuss more about it. then we'll have a detailed discussion. I can able to build your career map or career curve accordingly, guys. So any questions, guys, which you wanted me to resolve it? Any questions? Yeah. If any questions, please don't hesitate to reach me on my contact info, guys. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks a lot, guys. Okay. My best wishes to each and every participants over here. All right. So I look forward everyone to be in a much more meaty role. Okay, being a data scientist. All right. I'm looking forward to onboard everyone for this certification or for Intellipaat offerings of data science and AI courses. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot for your time.